video is going to be a little bit weird, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to move the computer around a little bit, but there's really kind of no way of being able to show this properly. So you're ready to get started. So you're like, all right, we've talked about this. I'm Jocelyn. I'm ready to go. I didn't really introduce myself, really. I am Jocelyn Stewart. I am the owner of Louise Catherine Music Studio. I am in a little town called Smyrna, Georgia. Not really little, but it's in Georgia, right next door to Atlanta. So people ask where I'm from. Like, I'm from Atlanta. And I teach music lessons and I perform, and I've been a musician for quite some time, and I've really enjoyed being able to share my my experiences and see younger musicians grow. So let's get started. Before you actually look into all of these things, there's a couple goals that I set for every single time you're learning a new scale. The first one is you got to learn the notes in the scale. And when I give you the notes, that the scales that you're going to be learning, I give you the notes in it. So you don't have to worry about that. There is a link for 50 plus worksheets that are really nice to help you with learning music theory and notes. So if you're struggling with that, that's really nice. It's a little, it is meant for children, but hey, we all got to start somewhere. Sometimes the easiest things for us to learn are things that are brought down into a children's language if you're an adult, but which is nice for those that are children, who have children. It's definitely designed for you. And then I have a blog that's like 5 easy ways to identify key signature sharps if you don't know what key you're in. The second goal, which is the hardest to do, is to use the correct fingering. I provide a resource that has the actual fingerings for the notes. And the first ones that we're going to do is just one octave. An octave, meaning octo 8, means there are 8 notes. Now, as you could probably tell, you say, well, I have 5 fingers, but there's 8 notes I have to play. In order to do that, you're going to have to do certain things with your right hand and versus your left hand. As you're going up, your right hand will, in order to get to 8, to have all of your fingers to go under there, you're actually going to move the fingers under. So I'm going to do a little pretend right now, and then I'm going to show you on the piano. So if I'm playing the key of C, and I go 1, 2, 3, and let's just say I keep going 4, 5, I'm out of fingers. And then it's like, what do? This doesn't flow over really well. What people tend to do is lift their hands up, and that's not what we want to do. It'll totally mess you up. Don't do that. So what we do is do 1, 2, 3, move the thumb under, and it hits the fourth note, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 1, 2, 3, thumb goes under, hits the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I have all 8, and it works smoothly. So I'm going to try my best. Ignore the mess sitting on the couch. But here we go. I'm going to try to see where I can have my hands down. Here we go. All right. Come on. Woo. Move this up. So 1, 2, 3. The thumb goes under. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll show it again. 1, 2, 3, thumb goes under. And so if I go faster, if I don't, what happens? I'm now at my pinky. I'm like, what? The 4? And it's not going to work. All right, so that's the right hand. Now, the left hand is going to do the opposite. When it's going up, it's going to go over. So I'm going to do my hand like this again. So you start with the left hand, you're going to start on the 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move the 3 over. 3, 2, 1. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And so it gets a little confusing because the right hand is going under, but the left hand is going over. And I think, let's see if we can see what that looks like. Let's see where we got some fingers at. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Again, 5. These go over. The same thing, if I was to go all the way up, this is very natural, like to go like here. But if I just go here and I'm like, if I try to go under, there's not much, right? And I want to make sure I hit the right notes as well. Okay, so that's the first part. And I'm going to confuse you. As you're going down, they do the opposite. The right hand goes over and the left hand goes under. So that's my right hand. So we're at the top, the 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Move the thumb over. Move the middle finger. 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And that's like the more natural feeling sort of thing. So let's see what that looks like. Move it up here. I hope I don't drop the computer. And that's where it just sort of, and you get used to it. Okay. Now, which you can guess, the left hand goes the opposite. It's going to go under. So I'm at the top of the scale, and now I'm at my thumb. 3, 2, 1, under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't count. So 1, 2, 3, go under, da, 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 da. See what that looks like. Let's move down here. Go under. So that's the hardest part. And oftentimes when people say pianists, they're working two instruments at the same time, they are, because the fingerings are different. Even as something as simple as a scale, the right hand's doing something completely different from the left hand, even though they're using the same notes. One's going over, the other one's going under. And that's what makes piano playing challenging. And that's sort of what people get like, oh, this is a lot harder than what I thought it would be. So that's what it means by using the correct fingerings. And when you see the 3, 2, 1 and it says 1, you know that if it's the right hand and you're going up, you're going to go up, you're going to go under, etc., and then backwards. Then what you want to do is learn how to play them together. I do this at every single piece of music, especially anything I don't know. I play the right hand first because that is where the melody falls. And if I can hear the melody, I can kind of understand a little bit. Left hand oftentimes is meant to have the bass of it. As I've played in bands before, and if there's no bassist, I am the bass because I'm playing the left hand. I'm playing these little bass notes and stuff like that. But the melody is played in the right hand. So if I want to hear what the melody sounds like, for the most part, then I'll just play the right hand. So I always start with the right hand first, then I play the left hand, and then I work and play those two together. And then the fourth goal when you're learning the scales is to use a metronome. It's okay to get started. You don't need to spend a lot of time using the metronome at first. But once you start getting the notes together, you want to cat in the window. You want to use the metronome and start really slow, maybe 50 beats per minute, and start all over again. The right hand. One thing you want to avoid doing when you are getting ready to really practice and start using like the metronome is to avoid stopping and starting. What happens is if you keep stopping and starting, you will constantly stop at that point where you mess up. It's better to run through it and then maybe the next time go back and say, okay, I need to slow it down and then go back through, because every time if you stop, you will mess up every single time at that particular spot. For some odd reason, your brain just says to yourself, you're going to mess up right here. And no matter what you do, your brain just says, oh, you're going to mess up. I told you you were going to mess up. So as you're going through them, play, work on it. Don't stop, even if it's a big old hot mess. Keep playing, and then the next time say, okay, it's too fast. Let me lower the beats per second and do that. So that is how you are going to learn every single scale. C, D, E, F, G. Number one, you're going to learn the notes. It's the best. That's the first thing you want to do. Number two, you're going to use the correct fingering. Number three, you're going to play the right hand and the left hand together at some point. And then number four, you're going to use the metronome to make sure that you're being consistent. Okay, so that's for every single scale that you do. So you're like, oh, I didn't even need this course, right? Yeah, that's it. I promise you, that's not it. There's other things that we're going to go to. So the next lesson we'll do is I'm going to try to see if I can get my computer set up so we can look at doing the first one that we're going to do, which is the key of C.